Please welcome my friend, Shane Lukas.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everybody. We've heard some really moving, inspirational, emotional stories this morning. And I'd like to share with you a snippet of one that's important to me. So let me tell you about Jason. Jason is a young boy. He's 6 years of age. And on this particular day, he's been at preschool, and his mum fetches him, brings him home, and she's playing with him for a while with his toys and etc. But after a while, of course, his mum has other stuff to get on with. And so she leaves Jason playing with his toys and goes and gets on with some work. Now, after a while, and understandably, Jason gets bored playing with his toys, and he goes through to his mum. He says, "Mummy, when will Daddy be back? I want to play with Daddy." And she looks at her watch and thinks, well, actually, he should have been back half an hour ago. So she says, well, he should be back any time. Well, his little face lights up and he runs to the window with sheer excitement and anticipation, looking for his dad coming up the road. Well, his dad's not coming up the road at that particular time. So off he goes to play again. And he plays for a little while longer, and then he dashes back to the window, and then he goes back and plays, and then he dashes back to the window. And this goes on for quite some time. But eventually, on one of those occasions, he goes to the window and he can see in the distance his dad's car coming. And his little face lights up and he's almost squealing with delight as he races around to meet his dad at the front door. Now, meanwhile, yes, his dad is coming up the road. His dad is clutching that steering wheel, white knuckle. He's so fuming. He's had such a crap day at work. He's fuming about the fact that so much relies on him. He can't seem to nothing can happen in that business without his contribution in some way. He's fuming about the fact that he could have won a great client, but a competitor down the road undercut him. He couldn't justify quoting any less than he already did. In fact, he wasn't going to make a profit on that quote, but he thought, well, if I can just get this person as a client, that'd be great, wouldn't it? We can work together. So he's fuming about that. He's stressed, he's tired, he's been working long hours, and he's really fed up. So he drives onto the drive, he wrenches on the handbrake, gets out, slams the door, and marches into the house, only to be attacked by Jason with a sword. Trying to keep his calm, he just says, look, just let me get in, just give me a minute. And he takes his coat off and puts his bag down, and he's just desperate to unload the events of the day to his wife, just to vent for a few minutes. And he walks through to his wife and he's trying to talk to her. And all the time this is going off, Jason's going, come on, Daddy, come and play with me. Come and play with me. Come on, Daddy, come and play with me. Shut up. Just give me a minute, I said. Little Jason looks horrified. His eyes well up. His lip starts quivering. And off he goes to his bedroom, sobbing his little heart out. Of course, Jason's dad feels instantly guilty and goes on after him. He gives him a big hug and he says, I'm really sorry, Jason. I didn't mean to shout at you. I've just had a really bad day. Daddy, will you play with me? Jason, I can't right now. I've got so much work that I still need to do. I promise I'll play with you tomorrow. And he leaves Jason still really upset in his bedroom. And he goes and locks himself in the spare room because he's got more proposals that he needs to do, and he's hoping that he can make the evening's post collection so that he can get those proposals on some prospects' desks the next morning because he's so desperate to get some work in. So he feels he's got absolutely no choice but to carry on working. But he's promised his son he'll play tomorrow. Sadly, the next day he gets home from work that late that Jason's already in bed. And this goes on for a while. And he's also getting in the neck off his wife because he keeps promising and promising, and he's just not there. He's not there for his wife, he's not there for his son. Jason's due to start swimming lessons, and Jason's dad says, look, I'll tell you what, I'll take him. Well, Jason's so excited about this, he can't wait. The ulterior motive, of course, is that Jason's dad can take his laptop with him and get him some work without getting disrupted while Jason's having his swimming lesson. And what's really sad about that is that every single time Jason looks up to his dad for an applause, a thumbs up, a cheer, Just like all the rest of the parents who are leaning over the balcony doing to their kids, all he can see is the back of his dad's laptop. And so it isn't long before Jason stops asking his daddy to play. It isn't long before he stops racing to the window with sheer excitement and anticipation for his dad coming up the drive. It isn't actually long before Jason's a teenager. And if he is in, he's sat in his bedroom with his headphones on talking to nobody, or he's out. It isn't long before Jason's dad realizes that he's missed out on those valuable years. He'll never get another chance to be there for his son in those young childhood years. What's going on here? Well, just like so many other people, I'm sure many people in this audience included, Jason's dad was fed up with that 9-to-5 job he got that came with so many restrictions when he can take his holidays. Had to be in for 9, he could have his lunch at this time, he could leave at 5. He was earning lots of money for the company, but only seeing a small fraction of it through his skill. So he wants to be his own boss. He wants to have the freedom that came with being your own boss. He wanted to set up his own business so he could spend more time with his family and take the holidays he wanted to, leave work early, and earn more money for the family. But of course, just having a great core operational type skill, no matter how good you are, isn't the only skill that you need to create an effective business, is it? Other skills like how to price more effectively so that you're not quoting and trying to undercut the competitors up the road. Skills like better marketing yourself, building relationships up with prospects so that they begin to know, like, and trust you. Having a better sales process in place rather than just posting out a proposal and hoping for good luck. Actually developing a team of people. Jason's dad's got a team of people, but nothing can happen without his involvement still. So actually developing his team to be able to do stuff that doesn't rely on him doing it. Putting systems in place so all the bells and whistles, all the incredibly high standards that he wants his firm to be reflected as having, will happen without his involvement. And then actually just taking a step back and just thinking about how can we make this business better? Just by putting these few things in place, well, enables Jason's dad to build a more profitable business. But profit's not the only thing, is it? Just having lots of money in isn't automatically going to free up your time. So those things will enable his dad to have a more enjoyable business. And actually, over time, reduce the stress and effort involved in that business. We can help people like Jason's dad, can't we? As a result of getting his business operating more profitable, more enjoyable, less stressful, as a consequence, he can come home and spend more time with his son, can't he? And his wife. So we can help people like Jason's dad be a better parent. Be a better husband. We can help our clients be better wives. Better people. Live the lives that they wanted to when they set up their business in the bloody first place, rather than being the harshest boss you could ever imagine. We can do that. AVN exists primarily to help you guys first. Believe it or not, Jason's dad is actually an accountant. That's why I didn't list any financial stuff on there. In theory, he's got that licked, but actually he's got more debtors. In fact, in my experience, most accountants seem to have more debtors than their clients do, but it's just me. So primarily, we're here to help you guys, the accountants out there, get your house in order, get your practice running more effectively, getting your pricing right, getting your marketing right, all of those other aspects, ultimately helping you build a more profitable, a more enjoyable, less stressful practice to run. With the hope, and it can only be a hope, but with the hope, the intention, that by getting your practice right, that's going to affect your own personal lives and make that much better, isn't it? So that you're not all stressed when you come home from work. Because it's this side of it that moves us, isn't it? When I read testimonials that we get in AVN from accountants saying, I've increased my GRF by this amount, that doesn't do very much for me. I just think, well, that's nice. I just hope you're using that wisely. When I read testimonials, like the stories we've heard today, when we're all moved, we're welling up, we've got lumps in our throats when we hear them, that's the stuff that inspires me. That's the stuff that makes me want to do more to help accountants. Help accountants get to a position where they can help their clients much more. By giving you the tools, the resources, the training, more importantly than anything else, to make a difference to your clients. Who's interested in doing that? And I know Steve asked the question earlier. Who's interested in helping people like Jason's dad become a better parent? If I say aye. Aye. Oh, that's better. Okay, thank you. So, I know from personal experience, talking with lots of accountants, that there are lots of challenges involved in actually just going that step further. Not just helping them with the financial stuff, but actually going that bit further and helping them maybe in a more consulting type fashion. Because the financial stuff's incredibly important, but we're all capable, we're all able to help our clients in many more ways, like getting the pricing right, as Mark was talked about earlier. But the challenges there are having the knowledge or feeling that we've not got the knowledge to help different people in different sectors. Positioning, how do you position yourself, in front of prospects that don't know you, but more importantly, how do you position yourself when you've known a client for 30 years and suddenly you're trying to offer a different service to them? What are the skills that you need to effectively deliver something like this? Having the confidence to do it. And then selling the service as well, the process that you need to go through, but also how to price it appropriately. And then the end bullet there, the irony that sometimes we've got really, really nice clients that you think, well, actually, they could do so much more of that business, but it's in almost jeopardy at the moment because they crap at bloody running it. So much so that they can't afford to pay you for consulting work, and there's only so much you can do for free, isn't there? So that's what I mean by that end point there. What if we could obliterate all of those challenges for you guys? What if we could make it so that that stuff is just second nature and you're in a much better position to offer this kind of added value, this consulting business growth work to your clients? What if actually we could get you into a position where people were queuing up, literally, for you to deliver the likes of consulting through PMI, making it happen programs, business edge, those types of things. And what if you had all the training, the knowledge, the confidence, the skills to be able to deliver this stuff effectively? And what if you could price appropriately as well, rather than at rock bottom? And what if actually you could value price that and your clients could get a big massive chunk of that funded for them? Wouldn't that just be amazing? That we could actually make a difference to more people in that way. So let's have a look at how we plan to do that. Because in this session I want to tell you how you can make even more of a difference. I'm not suggesting for a minute you don't already make a difference and change lives. Make even more of a difference to your clients. I'm going to tell you about how collectively 3 firms have already sold consultancy in excess of over £200,000 collectively in a 3-month period of time. And I'm going to talk to you about how we're going to help you be better equipped at delivering these types of services. So back to those challenges again. Well, let's just look at how we're going to knock those off. Some of you attended a pilot course that I ran a few months ago now. On your AVN shop sheet, this course, which I've collectively labelled as the Business Growth Course, is actually 2 separate courses. On the 18th of November, it's the PMI Training Day. On the 19th of November, it's the Consulting Tools Day. Collectively, as far as I'm concerned, it's just a business growth course. It's how to get better at offering this stuff to your clients and how to be able to help people in those different ways. So, during that course, you'll get a great understanding about what PMI is, the whole concept, the related resources and tools, and more information about how to deliver Business Builder Review, Business Edge, making it happen. How to position yourself in front of the different types of clients that you've got. A variety of different ways to sell the service, because different situations lend themselves to different approaches, don't they? And how to build and develop on those skills so that you can effectively deliver it. And in addition, you get to practice this stuff in a safe environment because you can practice on each other. You're all business owners, so practicing on another business owner is a great way to practice in a safe environment where you can ask questions, call for a time-out. And being on the receiving end as well, as long as you're open and honest in these sessions, you'll come away with fantastic actions yourself. So, recommendation number one is if you've not been on that course yet, book on it, both days preferably. Come along on that because that session is really going to help you be in a much better position to deliver this stuff. Now, on the subject of different ways to sell, I said there's a variety of ways that we cover. Mark talked earlier about the power of having a brochure to complement the conversations that you have. Obviously not replace, but to complement the conversations you have with your clients. And so we've created a new resource on exactly that subject. So this is one in the same brochure, but there's a couple of different styles there that you can take if you want to in its current format and use. Just get your moniker on it if you like, or of course you can send the content off to get that personalized completely. So there's just a couple of varieties there. We've got a piece of software that we've had around for many years called Business Potential. And Business Potential is an incredibly powerful tool for so many applications, really. Number one is a consulting session in itself. It goes through 5 of the 6 sales growth drivers and really sort of taps into how you can just increase each one of those in a very small way that's going to make a big difference. And of course, it also acts as a selling tool in itself in that it whets the appetite of the business owner that you're with in terms of, again, the potential that you, having a working relationship with you in a consulting way, can help their business improve. So that's just having a facelift at the moment. It's going to be it's in its redesign stage. It's going to be web-based, cloud-based, and also it's having an additional feature built in, which is going to be a pricing tool. So if you can imagine going through this, literally putting it into the business owner's hands so that they can come up with how much potential that they believe is in their business. That can be tens of thousands of pounds onto their bottom line that they can do just by tweaking some of these numbers themselves. Then it makes sense that we're building a pricing tool so that by contrast, how much it could potentially be to work with you, rather than giving them a fixed price, it could be a value-based price against the potential. And behind the scenes, it'll allow you to set different parameters so that it doesn't charge more than you're comfortable with or less than you're comfortable with. Okay, so that's coming soon. Just on the subject of software, by the way, if you weren't here yesterday for Ian's announcements, Incorporation Tax Planner is released and you should have that now. Remuneration Planner is available in the next few weeks. If some of you might have already got it now as beta testers, otherwise everyone will get that in the next couple of weeks or so. And Time's Up's just been upgraded as well. That's got some fantastic new features in it also. If you want to hear any more about those, one of the breakout sessions is Little Gems from AVN, delivered by the Little Gems from AVN. So pick their brains or see Ian in the break. Anyway, that was an aside on the software. So I think that consulting course for me, that business growth course, ticks off a lot of these boxes in some way. And certainly enough to get you started. But that's not all. Coming very shortly, we're going to introduce some brand new online training sessions. So, whereas historically we might have run some 45 minutes to 90 minutes webinars on maybe some research that we've done or on a brand new resource, we're going to start running more interactive, more intimate, classroom-style online training sessions. So again, you don't need to leave your office, and half of that we're going to be delivering some high content, and then the second half of it will invite you, if you wish, switch on your webcams, or at least be present in the meeting, and we'll have some more interactive discussions about the content that we've just delivered. So we're going to run those every single month. Every third month is going to be exclusively for advanced members, where there'll be content that's related to the consulting tools and the resources that you've got available as an advanced member. Okay, In addition, we've also improved the AVN community type forum. We used to have it on the website, but using social media, we've now created a Facebook version. And some of you will have already been invited to that, and gradually over the coming weeks we'll just keep inviting different people along to that. So that should just grow as an AVN community. So if you've got any questions, you can ping it in, and anybody can contribute on that. So these training sessions are going to give you valuable content that you can apply immediately to your practice, or valuable content that you can give to clients and help them grow their businesses. And it's stuff that you can keep up your sleeve, isn't it? If you're running a board view session, maybe it's running dry, then you can deliver some of this content and maybe kick off a creative brainstorming session. Or deliver the stuff as a BBF. The applications are going to be endless. But it's ongoing training, it's ongoing knowledge building, isn't it? So for me, that should significantly increase on all of these, because this stuff's going to start rolling off the tongue, isn't it, in client meetings. So it's going to better position you, it's going to build on your skills. So that still leaves the gap at the bottom, doesn't it? Now, over the years, various different funding opportunities have been available. But all of the funding opportunities that have been available have come with their fair share of challenges. Challenges like they're slow to process, for a start. You have to wait for different people to sign them off. There's lots of form filling to be done, which is complicated in many ways. You've got lots of evidence sometimes to collect, depending on the nature of it. It's regional, so there are different rules, different types of funding. It's a pain in the neck, and for most people when I've spoken to them, they just said, basically, the moment's gone by months, usually. It's just too much effort. Well, until now. So, 3 months ago, we launched, with the help of a company called T4C, a brand new initiative. T4C have basically got the finger on the pulse on every single funding opportunity out there. They've got a huge database available, and they can reel this stuff off straight away. They've also put stuff in place which means that a lot of that red tape has been eliminated. So the whole process is going to be so much faster, and they're still working on making it better still. There were 5 firms initially got involved in this pilot. One of them, I believe, dropped out of it for reasons I'm not too sure of. One of them's only just getting started because T4C have sort of staggered their approach in terms of working with members. So of the 3 firms, as I said, collectively, they've got over £200,000 in consulting fees, which means they're making a difference to their clients already. And not only that, T4C have identified potentially over £1.5 million in funding that the client can use in other ways, not just our client, but collectively across some of those clients. So how good will you look as an accountant if not only are you managing to raise funding for your clients to work with you, but actually you're finding funding for them in other areas of their business? Steve talked earlier about you don't have to look like Superman in the red underwear, but I think you probably will, won't you, if you're finding that kind of money?
For us, the opportunity is obviously PMI, and the opportunity to really get that going this year with clients, with a real incentive to access other grants from that, which is absolutely amazing. I think the main thing as well is that actually it's becoming increasingly hard to save tax with clients, but if you can save them 20% plus effectively by grant rather than tax reduction, then of course they're desperately keen to tap that. So thanks guys, I really appreciate that. It's been a fantastic opportunity for the business. We look forward to working with you.
We've always tried to promote AVN's PMI products, some of the growth services that they've educated us about, but we've found sometimes a bit of resistance from clients because obviously it means additional fees, and in the cost-conscious environment that we live in, they've sometimes been a bit reluctant to go that extra mile. So what you managed to do for us today in front of our clients is to really explain how, yes, they could take on these additional services, but also get the funding to do it. So it's a win-win from all sides. A win from our side as accountants, because we can sell more services. Win for the clients, hopefully, because they'll get an improved service and growth strategies. And a win for AVN, because they supported one of their accountants.
Well, it's fairly easy for the clients because there's no cost to them. And a lot of clients have already expressed interest in PMI following the 2.2 million seminar we did in Manchester. So yeah, it's been relatively easy so far.
So I said earlier about getting people queuing up. Our formula that works, it's not the formula, but our formula that works great, that one of those firms certainly used, was that he used the £2 million from PMI event. He ran that himself. Of course, you can get Steve Pipe to run that for you. He doesn't charge you directly, you're kind of sharing the outcome from that. So that covers his costs. That really whets people's appetites, makes them really want to work with you. And then T4C have been coming on stage as well and talking about the different opportunities and the ways that that can be funded. It just makes it a no-brainer for people. They have been literally queuing up. In fact, I know that one of those members said that they've only been able to take so many people on because otherwise they run the risk of over-promising, under-delivering. So I suppose there's a caveat there that you might get too many people shouting at you to work with them. So T4C have managed to identify funding that means your membership could potentially be partially funded for an amount of time. You can use that internally on your own practice. That's one example, of course, training up your members, team members, but there are other applications as well. Certainly funding for your clients to pay you to help them with their business, and funding for lots of other aspects of their business as well. So for me, that's a huge opportunity and something certainly worth finding out a lot more about from T4C. So my advice, the second set of breakout sessions today, T4C are talking. They're in the Bracebridge suite. I suggest that you make your way to their session and get as much information as you can from them about it. So I hope you'll agree with me that that kind of nails those last two aspects. So I think it's probably pertinent then to rename the title of that. And let's just change lives with consulting. There's so much you guys as accountants can do for your clients. Stuff that you've got access to help you do as well. You know, I talked about pricing, selling, marketing. All of those, you've got resources and the training that we'll deliver to help you give that help to your clients. Systemizing, you've got System Builder. Okay, so my recommendations then today as I finish is, number one, if you're not an AVN member, by the way, kind of makes sense to become one. It could even be funded. But you can get access to a lot of this stuff then as an AVN member. If you're not an advanced member, then again, it could be funded. Find out more from T4C, but this will give you access to all the consulting resources that we've got available that will help you help your clients. Certainly attend the 18th and 19th of November. I got really good feedback from that, and some of the feedback as well for making improvements I've also adapted, so I think that should be a really good 2 days. When we release them, I strongly suggest put the dates in your diary and make time to come to these. It might be anywhere between an hour and 90 minutes, but the time that you put into these, you'll get back tenfold. Just on the ways that you can apply it to your practice and apply it with your clients. So go to see T4C, and as I said, go see AVN's Little Gems and learn more about AVN's Little Gems. Final recommendation, go make a difference. Go make even more of a difference and change lives. So thank you very much.